Right. So, right. Next topic. We sort of touched on it briefly, but Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is actually looking like it's going to be a bomb.
Yep.
Now, I couldn't believe this. It was actually you culture that brought this to my attention before we started.
Right.
Now, it was originally going to be debuting projected with $130 million debut. Now it's looking like 120. They've knocked off $10 million.
Yep.
This is worse than Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. This is atrocious.
Yep.
This is so bad. Now, we talked about whether this film could clean up against Mario, right? I don't think Guardians of the Galaxy will end Super Mario's box office reign. I mean, it may be number one, right?
Right.
But you'll get that front load, and then it'll die out really quick. I mean, $120 million debut as a front load is atrocious.
Oh.
But the negative reviews, and I covered this on the channel, the negative reviews of this come from saying there's a heavy focus and overindulgence of animal cruelty.
Animal cruelty.
Now, look, obviously it's CGI. I'm not saying the critics are right, but let's just say if they are, this is a kids' film. It needs children for longevity, right? Again, case in point, Super Mario Brothers has only done so well because kids are nagging their parents to keep going back, right?
Yeah.
Now, if they are right and there is a heavy focus on animal cruelty and overindulgence on animal cruelty, $120 million debut, and then it fucking crashes by 60%, this film is dead in 3 weeks. 3 weeks, this film is done. It'll be gone, done. 100% dead and gone.
Yeah, and then it'll limp around for the next 3 weeks after that, and then they'll be looking at the streaming. And this film can't afford to be that. And I said this from the very beginning. You can ask Tom. I don't think this film is going to do as well as people expect. I said
agree.
It was likely their last chance for $1 billion under the Marvel brand, right? Outside of something Spider-Man primarily. But outside, Disney Marvel, this was it. Everything that's coming afterwards is the A-Force. You're getting chicks with not, prosthetics, and it's going to do poorly because of some of the subject matter. And if it is overly indulgent in animal,
let's play devil's advocate. Let's say they are right on this occasion, right? Let's just say they are.
Yeah. And look, this is one I want to be wrong on. This is one I want to be wrong on. Because I love this. I love Guardians, right? And but I'm like, I don't death and all of this other stuff that's playing into this with the animals and everything is gonna hurt, man. Anyway, those are my thoughts. I don't know, but yeah.
Nick?
Yeah, I agree. Last time when we talked about this, I think I said that I saw opening weekend for this being like 1 to 110, I think is what I was at. Even lower than what they're predicting overall box office. I think it'll be under 600 million. It's just I know there's a lot of people that are actually looking forward to this movie, but with this current state of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I think a lot of people are just not going to pay money to go to the theater and take the time to do that for anything MCU right now. I think they're just a lot of people are just gonna be like, I'll just wait until it comes out on streaming and I'll just catch it then. All the other Marvel stuff's been crap. I'll just wait. I'm not gonna pay money. At least a lot of people I've talked to, that's what I've heard from people I know in my circle of friends in life. So yeah, I don't think it's going to do good at all.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, look, you say you don't think it'll break $600 million. I mean, that's, I think that's, if they do only get $120 million opening weekend in the States, the average drop off is about 60 odd percent in the stateside, right? Like, well, a second week drop off just in general is about 60%. I mean, that's dead. Like, that's a tanked
Well,
film instantly. It's
it's why
gone.
it's why when you saw Mario have a 30% fall off, it was like, holy crap, this is going to be around a while.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, worst case scenario, yeah, this movie does fall off its second weekend, and Mario retakes the top spot, which would be, I believe, a first for Marvel. And because we joked about it a little bit with Cocaine Bear, but if it actually happens, that would really be a blow for Disney. And yeah, this movie has to top over $600 million because of its budget, at least, I'm sure. Now, I guess to be a bit of a contrarian here, as far as the animal rights things, I didn't see too much about that. But what I do see as far as the ratings, yeah, it's getting kind of a lower rating from the critics. And the critics' complaint is that it's pulling too tight on the heartstrings. And the other complaint is that it takes forever to end because it finishes up all these storylines. And I'm like thinking, I fail to see a problem in this. Yes, I don't like the fact that it's 2.5 hours long, but I'm sick and tired of Marvel films and other movies where they don't tie things up. Yeah, I want to see the ending. This is my last hoorah for Marvel. So you know what? It may be a somber ending, but okay. And as far as like with the kids and stuff, I hear you, Nate, but also we got to remember it's been almost 10 years since the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie came out. It's been 5 years since the last. Guardians also has a little bit different audience than the main MCU, so it has potential, but if it gets good word of mouth, I think it could have a strong second weekend, but I think you guys are right because the problem you also have is in one showing of Guardians, you can get 2 showings of Mario in that time period. That's another problem. So the other positive is I think I think Guardians also has free sailing up until what's the next big movie that comes out? Like June?
No, it's
early June.
Transformers Rise of the Beast.
Is it that one or the Fast X? I can't remember which one, but like, yeah.
It might be fast.
It's one of the movies that comes out early June. That's all I know. Like they've got, because there's not much else that comes out in May.
9th of June, Transformers.
Yeah.
So what drops on the 16th of June?
I think that's Blue the Blue Beetle, I think does. Or no, is that in August? I can't remember now.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, Flash comes out in June. June.
Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have a feeling that's gonna see, that's the thing, is I have a feeling that Guardians will have a soft opening and might have word of mouth to carry it through. And Flash is gonna have a huge opening, but is gonna play like BVS and dive off a cliff once most people realize what it is. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people who are just going to be like, oh my God, Michael Keaton. Because I've looked at every place I've looked at where the toys are. Them are the only ones that seem to be selling. Those are the only ones I can't either find on the shelf or, I've seen anybody interested in. So I don't know.
I'm okay.
That was a big sigh.
Well, I want the film to be.
I want this to be good. Just I got to clarify. Like I do want this film to be good.
It's just I'm very honest when it comes to these things. I'm pragmatic. I'm somewhat skeptical of things that I see. So I want this to be good. I just am not. I don't see an upside financially. I think Nick is right. I think you can see 600 million. You can see 650. You can see 700. But I don't think this film is profitable. It cost a lot of money. It is nearly 100% CGI, and if it looks, this is the other problem. If the finished product looks rough, that's also part of word of mouth. I mean,
some people have said it's against pretty bland backdrops as well, apparently.
Yeah, so. And I mean, people are tired of that, and the poor blending that's done, in the backgrounds. I mean, Ant-Man and Wasp, you can tell. I mean, it's just 90%. If you watch that film, Quantumania, you can see they didn't bother to blend the background with the freaking ground. It's like this delineated line the whole time. It's like they're standing against a picture. Freaking irritating. Sorry.
No, you're right. Like I want this film to be good at the end of the day. I like. I didn't really like the second, but I have fondness with Guardians of the Galaxy because I like the cast. I liked the first one. Second one, I wasn't a massive fan of.
See, I actually like the second one probably better than the first one.
Yeah, I mean, it's tomatoes, isn't it? It's subjective. But at the end of the day, I like the cast, and I really liked the Christmas special, the holiday special.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
loved that.
That's
Loved
the
it.
best thing. That's the best thing Disney Marvel has done, right, Tom?
Probably
long
besides Werewolf at Night. I know a lot of people seem to like that, and every time I bring up the Christmas special, somebody always invokes that
Werewolf by
too.
Night,
So
yeah.
Yeah.
or Werewolf by Night, whatever it's called. Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
So yeah, so I want it to go well, but it's stacked against it. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, I'm watching this. I'm watching it tomorrow, guys. So I'll give you my review
I'm
tomorrow. And
I'm
it'll be
seeing-
an honest one.
And it could
On
be a
Thursday.
good. It could be a good movie.
could.
But I think that the current view from the audience out there on the MCU in its current state is so bad that people just aren't going to give the movie, their money for a ticket.
Yeah, well, I think actually to add to what you're saying, I think it's important to differentiate, right? Like there are still Marvel fans, and they lap up everything Marvel. But what made Marvel a success was it captured normies' attention, right? It made normies go, oh, I want to go watch this film now. Oh, let's get into the hype of what people are sort of interested in. It sort of captured everyone's attention in that regard. It didn't make normies fans, but it made them not want to miss out, and that's why you get that FOMO, front load, that has happened always with Marvel films. And they were bigger initially because, again, it was like a water cooler movie. You'd stand around the water cooler talking about the movie, the Marvel movie. So it captured normies' attention. But I think normies' attention on these kind of films have waned significantly because they've gone, they're all the fucking same. They're just full of CGI shit now. And now you're left with, the front load opener, and who is it now? It's just the fans. I think that's my personal opinion on it anyway.
Plus the three biggest stars, Spider-Man, Iron Man, and Captain America, aren't even a part of it anymore.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing that DC did to itself. I keep watching this stupidity repeat itself at all these studios, and I'm like, maybe it's better that we're replacing them. Maybe
they just milk it into oblivion, don't they? That's what it is.
Just to be a little contrarian, though, too, as far as like to expand on what I was saying before with Guardians being different. Like Guardians stood out among the other ones because it wasn't an established franchise. Yeah. So,
Agreed.
I mean, it's one of them that my dad likes. My cousins and stuff have talked about that don't care for the rest of the Marvel stuff. Like my dad don't know who the fuck any of the other Avengers are outside of Hulk. That's the only Avenger he knows. Right. And that's just because he knows from the old TV show and stuff like that. But he don't know who really Iron Man or Thor to him is just the old Greek god, like,
yeah. Yeah.
So there is an audience for this movie, I think. But the problem you have now is that gap. So we'll see how much that messes things up. And you guys do make valid points that I can't argue with about how the Marvel brand has been tarnished. And we've seen it since Spider-Man No Way Home, especially this shift back down again rapidly between Wakanda Forever and Ant-Man. So
yeah. Oh, it's fallen off a cliff, isn't it? I think. Yeah.